Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. So it is the part 2 video of your transport in plants. So in this video I will discuss about the long distance transport which occur through xylem and phloem and what are the mechanisms of your long distance transport. So let's start. First of all, water absorption by plants. Diffusion always allows the water and mineral solutes to be absorbed by the root hairs. So the minerals and water particles present in the soil transported into the root or into the plant through root hairs. So two channels carry the absorbed water to the deeper layer. One is apoplastic pathway, one is symplastic pathway. One is apoplast, one is symplast. So, suppose it is the plant root. At first the cell wall, epidermis, then cortex, then endodermis, then pericycle, then xylem. So there are two pathways through which plant can enter into the xylem. Plant water can enter into the xylem. One is through the cell and one is through the intercellular spaces or dead tissues. So through apoplastic pathway, the water can move through non-living components of the plant body, such as cell wall, intercellular spaces, whereas the plant body, living part of the plant body such as protoplast would be coupled to plasmodesmata, make up the symplastic pathway. Because cortical cells are loosely packed and pose no resistance to water movement, the majority of water in root flows down the apoplast channel. Endodermis, which is the innermost layer of the cortex, is resistant to water because Casparian strip is present in the endodermis, which is made up of suberin or suberized matrix of Casparian strip is resistant to water. Water molecules are routed through non-suberized wall areas. For entering into the symplast, water has to cross the cell membrane because symplast is the pathway where the plant or water enter or transport through the living part of the cell. So for symplast pathway, water has to cross the cell membrane at least one place, which is called transmembrane pathway. It is slower than the apoplast movement due to the transmembrane pathway. Symplastic membrane is aided by cytoplasmic streaming because through symplast the water movement occur through the living part of the cell, but in apoplast the water movement occur through the non-living part of the cell, that is intercellular spaces and cell wall. Then mechanism of water absorption. Absorption of water by root hair occur by two methods. One is active absorption, one is passive absorption. So whenever there is a word active is used, that means energy is utilized by the plant, and when it is passive means there is no need to use the metabolic energy. So let's discuss in details. In passive water absorption, the force responsible for absorption develops in the aerial parts due to transpiration pool, so that water is absorbed to the root, not by the root. So here it is mentioned that the transpiration process I will discuss in my next class in details. So transpiration means the movement of or release of water in the form of water vapor through stomata from the aerial part of the plant. So when water moved out in the form of water vapor, the water availability ultimately decreases in the leaf. So it creates a tension and pull the water from the root through root hair. So there is no energy expenditure required by the passive absorption of water, and it constitutes 96% of total water absorption. So here the pool or water pool occur due to the transpiration. Due to transpiration, water scarcity occur in the leaf part. So due to this, water is pulled into the plant and finally it reaches to the top of the plant. So it is the transpiration pool which causes the water movement into the plant and to the top of the plant. So it is the diagrammatic cross section of root showing pathway of water uptake. So through root hair it will enter like this and finally to the xylem. Due to rapid transpiration, water potential gradient, that is progressive drop in water potential maintains from soil to air. This gradient results in the movement of water by apoplast, symplast or vacuolar pathway across the root. Then what is active absorption? In this process, water is absorbed by the pores developing in the root system, which is actively involved, and shoot has no role. It generally takes place in well watered and slowly transpiring plant. There are two theories regarding this active absorption of water. One is osmotic theory, one is non-osmotic theory. Osmotic theory states that water is absorbed due to osmotic potential difference between soil and xylem sap, and non-osmotic mechanism said that when osmotic difference is zero, water absorption occurs at expenditure of metabolic energy or ATP released from respiration. Osmotic theory tells that there is osmotic potential difference between soil and xylem sap, but non-osmotic mechanism tells that the ATP utilization occur, and by the expenditure of this ATP or metabolic energy, the water absorption occur into the root. Then what is mycorrhizal water transportation? Water absorption through mycorrhiza is a symbiotic association of fungus and a root system. The fungal hyphae form a network around the root or penetrate the root cell to derive the nutrition. The fungal hyphae have large surface area which absorb the mineral ion from the soil and provide it to the root. In return, the root of the plant provides sugar and N-containing compound to the fungus. So, fungus provide water to the plant and plant provide nutrition to the fungus. Some plants like pinus have an obligate association with mycorrhizae. The pinus seed cannot germinate and establish without the presence of mycorrhiza. So, it is the mycorrhizal water absorption. Then absorption by velamen. Velamen is a thick corky epidermis of aerial epiphytic roots. The aerial epiphytic roots are hygroscopic in nature, which is present in orchid, which absorb water vapor or moisture from the air. So hygroscopic root means it will absorb the water vapor from the air through their epiphytic root or hygroscopic root. Then upward movement of water in plant. So in this way the water will enter inside the plant. Then how the upward movement of water will occur, or translocation of water or ascent of sap. The upward movement of water from root xylem to leaf means top of the plant or stem against the gravity. It occurs against the gravity. It is called ascent of sap. The tracheary element of xylem, that is tracheids and vessels, are the path of ascent of sap through which water translocate at a rate of 10 to 75 cm per minute. So water will be transported through the xylem or xylem element, that means through tracheids and vessels. So there are some important theories explaining the mechanism of ascent of sap. One is your root pressure theory. Root pressure theory was proposed by Priestley in 1917 This theory, according to this theory, the root pressure is responsible for pushing of the plant to small height in the stem. Root pressure is a positive hydrostatic pressure develops in the xylem sap due to active accumulation of mineral ion followed by water entry into the xylem. Root pressure is usually 1 to 2 bar. It is maximum at night and early morning when transpiration is low. So there are some evidences which favors the root pressure, that is bleeding from the cord stem due to positive root pressure. Pressure of exudation of liquid water through hydrathodes is called cortation. It occurs at night and early morning due to positive root pressure and low transpiration. So what is hydathode? It is a special opening of vein near the tip of the grass blades and leaves, glass blades and leaves in many herbaceous parts. So these are some evidences which shows that root pressure occur. But the greatest contribution of root pressure is due to the re-establish of continuous chain of water molecule in xylem, which often break under enormous tension created by transpiration. So these are the evidence which supports the root pressure. But there are some drawbacks, like it is not found in gymnosperm. When root pressure is high at night, then ascent of sap is low. Then it is unable to raise water in tall trees which require at least 20 atmospheric pressure. So due to these points, the root pressure theory fails to explain the mechanism of ascent of sap properly. Then the theory which is mostly accepted theory of ascent of sap, which is transpiration pool theory, which was proposed by Dixon and Joly. This theory states that the water is mainly pulled through the plant due to transpiration in leaves. According to this theory, the three components contribute to ascent of sap. One is cohesive property of water. Cohesive property means the water molecules can travel together because hydrogen bond develops between them. Then adhesive force between wall of trachyary element of xylem and water molecule. So there is a adhesive force which develop between the wall of xylem and the water molecule. Then development of tension or transpiration pool. A continuous water column exists in the trachyary element of the xylem from root through stem into the leaf. A tension or negative pressure develops in xylem due to rapid transpiration. This creates a tension, and this tension is transmitted through a continuous water column within the xylem to root. As a result, water is passively pulled in the xylem, which is called the transpiration pool. This theory is also known as cohesion tension transpiration pool theory. Greater the transpiration, greater is the transpiration pool or suction force, and hence higher rate of ascent of sap. Similarly, when transpiration is low, suction force is also low, transpiration pool is low, and hence the rate of ascent of sap is lower. So these are two mechanisms two theories to support the xylem transport or ascent of sap. But there are many more theories regarding this ascent of sap, which I will discuss in a short video in details. Here only two theories are mentioned, but in my next video I will provide a detailed video regarding these theories of ascent of sap. So stay tuned. Then the phloem transport. Phloem transport. So through phloem, the food or photosynthetic product will be transported from source to sink. Phloem is responsible for transport of food or sucrose from source to sink. However, other sugar, hormone and amino acids are also translocated through the phloem. The source which is the supply end, and region of manufacture. Region of manufacture of food is always leaf in a plant, and sink is the region of utilization or storage, which may be reversed depending on the season or need of the plant. The source sink relationship is variable where the photosynthesis occur, that is the source always, and where the photosynthetic product is needed, that is the sink. So it varies, and the translocation is in phloem is bidirectional. It may be upward, it may be downward, but through xylem the water and mineral line always move upward, but in phloem it is bidirectional, maybe upward, maybe downward. So it is the diagrammatic representation of mechanism of translocation. So sugar enter into the sieve tube in the leaf, then it can move to any other part of the plant. So phloem translocation occur in 3 basic steps. One is loading at the source, then translocation, then unloading in the sink. Phloem loading and unloading is a very important short note for BSc and MSc students. So you can directly write down these notes in your exam paper. So what the first step is loading of sugar or sucrose loading at source. Source means leaf prepare glucose by photosynthesis, which is converted to sucrose, because generally the photosynthetic product which moves or translocates is in the form of sucrose. Sucrose move into the companion cell and then into the living phloem sieve tube cells by active transport, means by expenditure of energy, and this is called phloem loading. At first the food is prepared in the leaf, then the leaf is transported to the companion cell, then to the sieve tube cells by active transport, that means by expenditure of energy. Then translocation sucrose loading develops hypertonic condition at the phloem when sugar is loaded at the sieve tube. So that region where the sugar is loaded, it creates a hypertonic condition. That means the sugar concentration is much higher at that place where the sugar is loaded. This sieve tube absorb water from nearby xylem element. So phloem is always associated with that xylem. When phloem inside the phloem hypertonic condition is created, water is absorbed from the nearby xylem, because whenever there is a hypertonic condition, the water moves into that solution. So as a result, high turgor pressure develops in the phloem sap due to the water absorption, and which causes the mass flow of sugar solution towards the region of low turgor pressure. So along with that water and the food particle or sucrose moves into the area of low turgor pressure. Then phloem unloading at the sink maintains low turgor pressure, because at sink there is no sugar, there is no water, so a low turgor pressure is there at the sink. The sink cell remove the sucrose from the phloem sap through active process. This is called phloem unloading. As a result, as the sugars are removed, the turgor pressure decreases and water moves out of the phloem and again enter to the xylem. So this is the process of translocation. Then Gridling experiment. So Malpighi, the name of the scientist is Malpighi. He conducted an experiment to demonstrate which tissues involved in the translocation of food. In his experiment, a ring of bark or outer dead layer of the plant up to the depth of the phloem layer is removed from the stem. In absence of the phloem, food is not transported downwards. As a result, after a few weeks, a portion of bark above the ring of the stem swells. This indicates that phloem is the tissue which is responsible for translocation of food and death of the root cell. It gives an evidence. So here he removed from the bark to the phloem. All the tissues are removed, but after some days there is a bulge or outgrowth seen in the bark above that removed part, which shows that the food particle comes down and stored here in the bulging part, because it cannot come down through phloem because phloem is removed in that part. So it is the girdling experiment of free trunk so that organic nutrient accumulate in the bark above the girdle where bulge is also produced, because below it the food particle cannot move due to the absence of phloem. So it is all about your transportation through xylem and transportation through phloem. In my next video, I will discuss different theories regarding the ascent of sap. Then I will discuss about the transpiration. So please stay tuned and enjoy my important videos regarding your plant physiology. And please like my videos, share with your other friends and subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial. Thank you.